Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Heart Wisdom Tarot. We're looking at the general energies for your sign for the month of Teen. I've reshuffled the cards, but I'll give them another small shuffle on camera. And let's see, what do Sagittarians, what energies do Sagittarians need to be aware of for the month of May? Obviously, these will be kind of the key energies. It won't be everything, but the key energies that will be around some of the Sagittarians. Obviously, this is a general reading. It will not apply to everyone. So you will know if this is for you or not from the first few minutes of the reading. Okay, 8 of Swords, 5 of Wands, Knight of Wands. There seems to be an internal conflict here, Sagittarians. I feel it is internal. There could be external as well, but I feel mostly it is internal, between a sense of wanting freedom, of just going off, leaving it all behind with this energy of the Knight of Wands, and going off on a new journey, a new adventure, with passion and gusto and enthusiasm. And feeling trapped, feeling stuck, feeling I can't move here, I can't do anything, I can't see the way forward. So there's a dilemma here, and this time of year, for a lot of people, me included, is time where we're feeling that things are in gestation. We're feeling like, what direction should I go, and how do I go in that direction? I want to be doing something different. I want to be doing something new, but how do I get out of this situation that I'm in? How do I go about moving forward? So it is, I think the energies at the moment are really pushing us to look at and consider where we're limiting ourselves, and to really find ways to remove that blindfold and see the way ahead, because a lot of what's limiting us are our own perceptions, and there is always a way somewhere. There is always a way. We just need to see it, we need to find it, we need to take it. But for you at the moment, or for some Sagittarians, there is this dilemma, this internal quandary between feeling stuck and restricted and wanting this sense of freedom, and a new start and a new adventure. Yes, the Devil card, the Moon, and the Page of Swords, they're really reflecting the top 3 cards. Feeling restricted, it's basically emphasizing the message here, because this is it, this is the message, it's emphasizing it. The Devil is about feeling stuck and fearful of making the change, because always what underlies the Devil is a sense of fear. Fear of leaving what's familiar, even if it's no longer serving us. Fear of venturing into the unknown, because we don't know where we're going. So we put the blindfold on and say, I can't go anywhere, I can't do anything, I don't know, I'm stuck, I'm unable to. But we all know that we really, really have a lot of strength within us, a lot of courage. We just have to tap into that in order to see the way forward. Then you've got the Moon right underneath the Five of Wands, which is about conflict, challenge. And this reinforces the message that this is more of an internal conflict, because the moon is about our subconscious, is about our fears, our anxieties, a sense of feeling confused, not really seeing the way forward clearly, and maybe even a level of feeling low, low in energy, even depressed about this whole situation. And then we have the Page of Swords right underneath the Knight of Wands. The Page of Swords is this young energy who wants to explore, take on the world with a lot of idealism and optimism, and yes, I can do anything I want to do here. The same sense of optimism and passion and enthusiasm that we can feel from the Knight of Wands. So again, the moon here, confusion, not seeing things clearly, anxiety, fears, right in between the Devil, feeling stuck, not seeing a way forward, fearful, and wanting to be free, wanting this energy of optimism and enthusiasm and passion. This must be a really big theme for a lot of you Sagittarians, because the message is really being reinforced here. Okay, let's see what other messages the cards want to give us around this. Oops. Seven of Pentacles, Three of Cups, and Six of Pentacles. So, to move from this internal conflict into a sense of joy. King of Wands, bottom of the deck. Taking charge of your own life. Being the leader that you know you are within. Having the courage, having the confidence to really be in charge of your own life. Having the passion for that. Wow. I'll come back to the deck later. But to move from this energy here of confusion and fear and internal conflict into joy and celebration, we need to take a moment to assess. We need to take a moment to look at where we've come from and where we want to go. This is what we've built so far. Is it working? Is it making me happy? Obviously, according to this, it is not. So what can I do? Where do I go? In a way, this is also reinforcing the message of the moon and the Five of Wands, but in a more positive way. While there is conflict here, where there are fears, anxieties in these two cards, with the Seven of Pentacles, it's a more of an objective way of looking at your situation and evaluating and assessing, so that you can get to a more balanced place. You're not between these two extremes here. The Eight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, the Devil and the Page of Swords, extremes of feeling absolutely, completely trapped. And then this other energy of, I want to go away, I want to set off, I want to set myself free and just go off on an adventure and take on the world. There needs to be a balance between these two. And this card is right at the bottom of this row. So we need to find a balance between these two energies. So you're not swinging between one extreme and the other extreme. You need to come to a more balanced place here. Because at the moment you're not. And that's by taking a more objective approach. Maybe looking from the outside in onto your situation. So you're not completely overwhelmed by the energy of the devil and the Eight of Swords, and you're not also then swinging to the other side and being consumed by the energy of the Knight of Wands and the Page of Swords. What you would want here, you would want the energy of the King of Wands instead of the Knight of Wands, because the Knight of Wands is still an immature energy. He just wants to go without even thinking, about the consequences or where he's heading or what he's doing. What you need here, you need a more balanced energy. You need to come back to this place, to find this place within you where you have the passion, you have the enthusiasm, you have the zest for life. You're in charge of your life. It's a more balanced place than where you are at the moment, between these kind of two polar energies. Again, underneath the King of Wands, we've got justice. Justice, again, about balance, just like the scales in the Six of Pentacles. So the message here is really about finding your middle ground between these two swings of the pendulum, where you're going from one extreme to the next and feeling, this internal, it's causing you a lot of internal conflict and a lot of anxiety here. And that pendulum needs to come in the middle. The scales need to be balanced so you are in a more empowered space where you really can take charge of your life and assess your situation and find that happiness and joy that you're looking for. We've got the Death card. The Death card, that transformation. You're ready for transformation here. You're ready for transformation. A big change, an ending and a new beginning. But this transformation has to happen from the inside out. And you're going through this process. You're going through this process because this internal conflict is your soul calling out for that change, is your soul urging you to find your way forward, to move in the direction that you need to be moving into. So you're going through this process, you're going through this death, you're going through this transformation. You're just right in the eye of the needle here, it seems to me here. You're still swinging between the two extremes, but you're going to find your middle ground. You're going to find your balance, and you will get to this place. You will come to this place of emotional and mental maturity and take charge of your life, Sagittarians. I think this is really very, very clear and straightforward, this reading. Things are in gestation for you, and you're going through a process of where you're finding yourself. You're finding yourself. You're trying to find your direction, the right direction for you, in alignment with your soul's desire. All this unrest is saying, I'm not in the right place. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not where I need to be. That's what these two cards are about. And it's up to you to take charge, because you can. You can remove these chains here in the Devil. You can remove that blindfold in the Eight of Swords and move forward, strong and empowered. You have that strength, you have that power, you have that determination within you. You just need to dig in and find it, because it is within you and you can do this. But often, for most of us, we get paralyzed by our fears, and we stay stuck for longer than we need to, really. So, I wish you all the best, Sagittarians, on this journey. It is not easy when we're going through a process of transformation, but it's always for our best. And we just need to be aware that it is the fears that are crippling us and holding us back. And we just need to work through those fears. We need to work through them and face them in order to be able to move forward. All the very best, Sagittarians, on this journey, and I look forward to reconnecting with you soon. Thank you very much for watching.